Let's go! Hey, ladies and gentlemen, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's Cynicalex. Whatever that intro was, the September update sneak peeks have begun, and I finally have content, so let's get into it. We have located an old training ground that had been used by a criminal lord to train his progeny. I wonder what this is, guys. Maybe this is a Hellfire Gala X-Men update. Perhaps an original characters update for Sharon Rogers and Luna Snow? No. However, one cannot account for the choices of their children. This is actually really deep. This is actually really deep for a Marvel Future Fight sneak peek, I gotta say. Standing up to Destiny. Now, even the deadliest assassins in the world couldn't stop this master of martial arts. Will he be able to overcome his destiny? Guys, down below in the comments, I'm gonna need you to type what you think this update is about. Who knows? No idea here, guys. Let's check out the sneak peek. Let's see if we can glean anything from the sneak peek. We have a dojo. Enter the dojo. Okay. This dark dojo shows me all the dust on my computer screen. Okay, that's it. Oh, big clue right there at the end. All right, so this sneak peek definitely leaves a lot to up to the imagination. We do not get a first look at Shang-Chi's new uniform, which is unfortunate. We don't really get a good look at anything, to be honest, besides a lot of shadows, and then right away, bang, they're hitting us with the tier 3. That's the T, and that's the 3. He's not carving his age. I was gonna say his name. 13. This is Stranger Things season 4. No, he's not carving his age or his, anything else, any other numbers, ladies. You know the procedures into that piece of wood. It's obviously tier 3. So right off the bat, we're getting, we're off to a record start here. We've got multiple hints in the sneak peek, but we know Shang-Chi's getting a new uniform, of course, and we know he's getting a tier 3. So it's really nice to me that they got this out of the way. What that hopefully means is that the tier 3 sneak peek could be for someone else, perhaps his father, Mandarin. Could be the tier 3. We could get a hero and a villain tier 3, father and son combo. Perhaps it's someone else, Aquafina, who knows? She transforms into the dragon from Raya. It's a good movie, by the way. Anywho, there's actually more to this sneak peek than you think, because I want you to look very carefully at the letter at the end of the word costume. That's right, there's an S. Costumes inspired by Shang-Chi. That means not one, but 2 or more, because that's plural, baby. That's how it works. So again, we probably already knew that, but it's good to know. I know it sounds kind of weird, but we don't always expect. We usually get, but we don't always expect that an MCU update is going to have the base look for the character plus an immediate uniform. Now, there are some negatives to getting an immediate uniform for characters. Most notably, it increases the cost of the character up front, and usually the value of the character is built around the uniform itself. Case in point, like a very good example is Yelena. Yelena came out with actually 2 uniforms, and her base look, despite the flexibility of being a villain, is pretty lackluster. Her uniforms are far and away better, way better than the base look. However, that isn't always necessarily the case. It's usually the case, but it's not always the case. For example, Red Guardian, he's actually not that bad without his uniform. He's not as good, but he's not that bad. So, and Taskmaster was actually a perfect example before he got his rework. He was basically the same character with and without his uniform, besides the crazy support buff. But that being said, we now know costumes, right? We're gonna get extra uniforms from this update for these characters, but the cool thing is there could be some additional characters. Now, there's a bit of a spoiler based on the trailers if you haven't seen them. So if you don't want any kind of spoiler whatsoever, then you're going to want to mute this part of the video. But we do see a battle scene, very brief sort of brawl, very reminiscent of X-Men 1, where Rogue, played by Anna Paquin, stumbles upon this bar in the middle of the forest in Canada, like in the middle of the winter. And who's there having a cage match with some random thug? Good old James Howlett Wolverine. So we get sort of an updated version of that in this gigantic sort of floating arena, and it's A-Bomb Abomination versus Wong. and Wong, of course, employing those portals to get Abomination to punch himself in the face. Really hilarious. Obviously very cool. Possibly going to hint at some ties to Shang-Chi into Multiverse of Madness, because we know Shang-Chi is going to lead into Spider-Man, which is then going to lead into Doctor Strange, right? So we know that things are sort of flowing that way. Eternals is somewhere in between, whatever, but Eternals is like its own thing. So we could see a uniform for Wong as well, which again, high time for this dude to get a uniform. He came out, he was terrible. He got a uniform right away. He's another one of those characters that got a day one uniform, pretty much exactly the same character, just copied and pasted a different look onto him. So there's a lot of upside. There's just so much upside to this update. I cannot wait. I'm so excited for Shang-Chi. Not only is he going to be hopefully amazing, new uniform and a tier 3, so many characters, his father as a villain. We need more villains in the game as always. And then the possibility of Abomination and Wong. Over on Twitter, we've got just a tiny bit more, and I just want to read the text here because it's actually really cool, right? He was trained so the deadliest people in the world couldn't defeat him. The new update inspired by Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, this fighter will stand against his destiny. So I actually really like this tagline, standing against your destiny. It's not really common in the MCU, right? A lot of characters are sort of fulfilling their destiny, or at least sort of just discovering something about themselves that they didn't know. Like, you know, Iron Man grows a heart and becomes selfless, or Captain America learns to be selfish and whatever. But rarely is it to fight against what you're told is your purpose, right? It's really like fighting the tide in that sort of sense. Black Widow is kind of like that, right? Because she was trained as an assassin, and she sort of, you know, wants to make her red ledger unread, right? She wants to atone for her sins, but that's not really the case here, right? Shang-Chi doesn't really have sins. He just has this evil destiny that he wants to reject. Kind of like, in a way, kind of like Gamora and Nebula as well. Sort of like a mixture of those three characters. So it's really, really interesting. I like this tagline. I haven't really seen this much in the other promos for it. And honestly, the promos for Shang-Chi have not been great on Marvel's side. I'm talking about the movie. So hopefully the game will bring more hype to this overall, because I do think this is going to be a really cool, really good movie. I already have my ticket stamped and ready to go. And yeah, Friday for me. And by the way, this update, I don't know what that is. I don't think anyone knows what that is, and I'm not sure that it matters what that is. But at first, when I saw the sneak peek, I thought that that was something. It's not. I don't think it's something. But yeah, hit me up in the comments if you think that's something and if you know what that something is. But yeah, with the sneak peek being today, being now, which again we were all expecting, this is not a surprise, that does peg the update for the 8th. For the vast majority of the world, basically every single time zone except one will have the update on the 8th of September, with the west coast of the United States getting it on the very wee hours of the night, 11:30 p.m. talking on the 7th of September. So yeah, the 8th of September for us, which is very, very close, right? From the recording of this video, we're talking 8 days. So really, really dope stuff. Get your Shang-Chi's in order, okay? It's not dirty. I know it sounds dirty, but it's not dirty. What you have to do, get this man tier 2. That rhymes. It's so easy. Get those biometrics. Get him from the Dimension Shop for free, right? It's super duper easy and super duper cheap. And then another thing, start stacking up uniform upgrade kits. This is not a joke, okay? I buy this every day and I still don't have enough. But yeah, Shang-Chi is here down near the bottom. He's the last one, so start getting those biometrics. You can also get his bios from Shadowland, biometric selectors and things like that. Get him to tier 2, and not only get him to tier 2, but unlock his potential, right? You don't have to get him to level 70 as I will. Oh, not that one. Actually, you know what? Yeah, I could use this, couldn't I? Yeah, why not? Sure. You can't use it on a tier. You can't use it on a I'm not gonna use that because that's an advanced ticket, but yeah, I can definitely do that. Do this because, I mean, you can do this, for example, but you don't have to. But what I was saying was you should at least unlock his potential by getting him to tier 2 and then playing with him in World Boss Ultimate or as a striker in World Boss Legend, just so that his potential is unlocked, so that if you want to you can build him up to level 70 and then build him up to tier 3. Now that we know it is a 100% guarantee now, I really got to stop pressing that button. We basically have that to look forward to, and I'm personally very excited for him to get a tier 3. I love combat types in general. They're some of my favorite characters. And on top of that, he's so cool. Absolutely bonkers. Absolute body control. I thought it said absolutely bonkers. I just spit everywhere. Absolute body control. You can tell I have absolute body control when I'm spitting while I'm talking. So yeah, get your Shang-Chi to level 60 tier 2 with the potential unlocked. Start hoarding uniform upgrade kits. This one is honestly a biggie because, like I was saying, you can make fun of me. You can call it an exaggeration, but it does say costumes inspired by Shang-Chi. And from the sort of leak that we saw with that Korean poster where someone took a picture of it and it had the new icon, you could see Shang-Chi and you can see his dad, and then there's someone else, Katie or Kate or someone else on the other side. I don't know if it was Aquafina or if it was the other female warrior character, but both of those, so that could be 3 uniforms minimum, and then potential for Wong, potential for Abomination, potential for other characters to get uniforms. We could be seeing, you know, easily 5-6 uniforms. They sort of went overdose with the Synergy uniforms for Black Widow, but in that update alone, we got 6 uniforms. We got Taskmaster, Red Guardian, and then 2 for Yelena and 2 for Black Widow. That's 6. That's 7, Alex. 6. 6 uniforms in the last MCU update. So I would guess no less than 5 uniforms for this update. They always want the MCU updates to be jam-packed with content, and this is going to be no different. Hopefully as well, I want to echo the sentiments of the community here. Hopefully as well, there will be a legendary battle that is worth and worthy of the status, the badge of being legendary. We have yet to see a legendary battle that gives the option for a CTP of Judgment or Greed to be selected. And I only single out Insight because the last legendary battle did specifically give a CTP of Insight. So you can technically get any of the other less rare CTPs from, you know, Energy and Destruction all the way to Regen and Rage in the newest selector, in the Spider-Man Far From Home selector. It's over here. Where is it? I don't know where it is because I'm lost. It's definitely here. There we go. So yeah, you can select all of the CTPs up to the March 2019 CTP introduction, but all of the newer ones, right? Greed, Judgment, and Insight cannot be selected. And Judgment by far is the most valuable, the rarest CTP. It's not the most valuable CTP right now, but it's definitely the rarest. So I know a lot of players have been hoping for a sort of cheaper, more budget-friendly way to get a CTP of Judgment. Now would be the perfect time to either put an updated CTP selector in the Shang-Chi Legendary Battle, or alternatively, just put a, you know, like you did for CTP of Insight, put a CTP of Judgment as one of the rewards for the Legendary Battle, which would basically make it cost 2,500 crystals plus whatever the upgrade requirement is, a uniform, a character, so on and so forth. So yeah, that is what I've heard from the community that they want from this update. I really just want a banger. I'm just looking for a banger. Some content would be great, but I'm just looking for a banger. Hit me up in the comments down below. Let me know what you are looking forward to in this update, and I will catch you in the very next sneak peek. Thank you so much for watching. Smash the like button if you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.